Good evening, everybody. Chow in the Marks with McGowan. And if we look a little disheveled, it's because we were outside ready to grill and cook and do a whole bunch of stuff. And it didn't work out. Debbie came a little earlier than she thought she was going to come. But that's okay. So we pulled it all inside, cooked outside anyways, and we got it together for you. Thanks for being with us tonight. We went on a trip. To do these things today, we just went on this trip. We started Monday in Bristol. Then on Tuesday, we went to Burlington. Now, it's the Old North End. Remind you, the Old North End Farmers Market in Burlington is not the same as the one on Pine Street on Saturday. You've got to go visit them. They do such a great job for a very small market, but they have a little bit of everything there. Also, took ourselves down to Isham Family Farm, talked to Mike down in Williston. Had a great time there. We saw some great things there. And then finished off by going to Milton, where we walked in and there was tons of people. And it's because it was National Night Out, but also the farmers market at the same time. We got some great stuff from Justin over at Bedoin's in Milton. We got to go do that. And then we made a big trip, went out to Greensboro yesterday, Caspian Lake. What a beautiful drive going out there. What a beautiful place being out there, except there's no signal. I think we got the live thing off at Greensboro yesterday. And then we finished off at Barre last night. Tracy saw the Vermont Department of Agriculture Secretary Anson Tebbets, who I worked with at CAX a long, long time ago. Great to have him there and checking out the farmers markets himself. And that's what we did. We went to all the different places. We said, well, what are we going to do? And this is the best thing to do is let's just put it all together. Starting off with grilled lamb, we did loin chops that we got from Bobbling Farm. Carol, they're in East Montpelier. The lamb smells amazing. I haven't get to taste it yet. It's right here. It'll be ready. The lamb was just gorgeous, and I want to do something really simple with it. So what we're going to do, and I got to go into my freezer here for a second. I'm going to put that down. We're doing grilled loin chops. We're going to do them with lavender butter to go along with it. So it'll be a great combination. Then we wanted to do like a ratatouille special because we had wonderful Japanese eggplant from Terry and Heidi. They're Bergeron Farms in St. Albans. We had cherry tomatoes and sweet peppers. We had artichokes. We didn't get to use them, but there were ones from Olivia and Camille. They are Heart and Hearth Homestead. They're in Glover. Then sweet peppers we got from Stefania Fort Leaf Farm in Moncton. And the summer squash we're going to put together, Mike, we did it from Isham Family Farms in Williston. And dessert, I'll tell you about that in just a second. Now, the idea behind the grilled ratatouille is Ratatouille is one of my favorite movies of a cartoon venture, but it's also just a really great French dish of usually eggplant and done with zucchini or summer squash. And then you have everything from tomatoes and garlic and oil and thyme and rosemary and a bunch of different things in there. So, but we want to do it differently, and this is how we did it. So what we did is we sat down and cooked the garlic along with onions, along with shallots. We did it in olive oil. We put thyme sprigs in there and let them sit in there. And we slowly cooked it. And so what had happened is when you were smelling it in the kitchen and it cooked down, it was really great because what happened is you got to smell like it was ratatouille. And we thought, well, this is the best way to do it if we're going to grill it. So we got that beautiful oil, strained it out, so it was only the oil by itself. And then what we did is we rubbed all of the summer squash and all of the peppers. And we added peppers in there. Again, the peppers are from Stefania Four-Leaf Farm in Moncton. Did peppers, did eggplant, we did summer squash, and just rubbed them all, and that's how we grilled them, with that rubbing. Again, not like a marinade, because we didn't let them sit for long, just enough to give them that extra ratatouille flavor so that when we layered it, it would be great. The other thing we did, and we'll do with these, is we got tomatoes, beautiful cherry tomatoes, again, that we got from the folks at Heart and Hearth Homestead. It's hard to say that. They're in Glover, and Olivia took care of me, gave me these tomatoes here, and it just was a great way to be able to put it together. So this is what we're going to do. Let's grab the plates out of here. Again, we're a little disheveled just because we're supposed to be outside and we're inside. This is how you can put together kind of your own ratatouille. Actually, we'll do one plate at a time to try and make it easier so we can have everything on here. So what we'll do to do our construct is we're going to do a piece of eggplant. We're going to do a small piece of pepper. We're going to do a tomato on top of that. And then we're going to do a summer squash on there. Just like that. So we're going to build a couple of these here. I want to make sure I have the same number as Danielle because I'll get in trouble if I don't. We go that. We got the pepper. Got the summer squash. Also, along with everything that we did with the flavorings of ratatouille, a little salt and pepper to give it a little bit of bite. Also, Danielle and Brianna both thought that it needed a little bit more of a kick, so we put a little sherry vinegar in it to give it a little bit of that marinade flavor to it. It really did an amazing job to give it that perfect kick, a little extra flavor. So again, the pepper, the fresh tomato. The tomatoes are not cooked. Kind of that nice cold crunch in the middle of these is really a nice way to do it. That's our ratatouille part of the plate. Going to do the second one here. The flavorings are really, really nice. The grilling on these guys is great because you get that wonderful flavor of the grill, but you also get the nice texture. Gotta get the right pieces here. Come on, Jane. There we go. Okay. You also get the nice texture of the grill, but you get the nice little crunch to it that really is wonderful, especially with the tomato. We'll do one more here. Yes, Kitty. That's our kitty. Say hi to Tilly, everybody. Tilly hates it when I'm in the kitchen, so, you might hear her every once in a while. She's 19. She's a little ornery in her older age. So, here we go. We have our beautiful ratatouille that's done in a grilled version. Again, the flavoring, it smells exactly like ratatouille that somebody else would make in a pan, in an oven, however you want to do it. But the smells are great, and the grilling adds a little bit of extra texture to it. Right now we're going to put our 2 lamb chops on here. Now the lamb chops, again, from Bobbling Farm. I'm going to go behind my back with you for a second here. Try to make this all work. Grilled lamb, it's really good if you can take the time to make sure that it's medium rare, or worst case medium. When you cook it overdone, it really gets pretty leathery pretty quick, especially when it comes to this beautiful lamb that's all grown locally. It tends to be a little bit leaner than some of the other ones that are out there. It doesn't have a ton of extra fat, which is great for you to not have a lot of extra fat there. But it's important to make sure that you take the time to cook it so that it's going to get the flavor out of it. If you overdo it, you really get shoe leather, which is, I grew up, Mom was a great cook after I was 18. Before I was 18, she burnt everything, or cooked everything and overcooked everything. Lamb was one of the things I never liked because I just had it like shoe leather for a long time, which Mom later admitted to. So make sure that you take the time to cook it a little less than you might think you want it, because the flavors are amazing. I'm going to run over here. I'm looking through, trying to grab little things here or there. Lavender butter. Lavender is from our garden. Danielle said, I've got lavender. And the story behind this is that we went to New York. You worked for the New England Culinary Institute, and we would go, Danielle and I would go down and work shows in New York for the culinary. We'd talk about the school and having kids get there and stuff like that. We ate at a lot of really good restaurants when we were down there and had a lot of really good stuff. We had a lamb done with a lavender butter that was just amazing. So what we did is, we have lavender in the garden. Danielle gave it to me, and we took butter and just softened it. And then what we did is turn around and put lavender in it, just the green part of the lavender, nothing else, and just let it sit. And just got it cold, and then when we turned around, we got it like super cold. And this is what we do to finish it off. We take the super cold lavender butter and just take just a little hunk of it. You don't need tons of it to it. It's a good flavoring. Put it right on top of your cooked lamb. The lavender goes so well with the lamb. It just, I was amazed the first time I had it. It didn't sound like it worked, but then I had it like, this really works. This is very flavorful. So we wanted to recreate it because we had the lavender, we had the butter, and the beautiful lamb from Bobbling Farm in East Montpelier. That is a really cool meal to be able to sit and enjoy. And you're like, well, you know, it's ratatouille in that. You don't always have to have a starch. You don't always have to have a pasta. You easily could add either one of these to this. You could do your potatoes and boil them and throw them on the grill. You could even do them a little ratatouille. Marinate if you want to have that extra flavor to it, but I really think that just the way that it is comes out really perfect. But then, what are you going to do for dessert? Or what are you going to do for afterwards? Danielle's family is from France. We were lucky enough to go over back in the late or mid-90s, I think it was. And every single time that we had a meal, at the end of the meal, we had a cheese platter of some sort, many different cheeses. It was always something that was very typical that they did, and I loved it. It was such a great compliment to the meal. Here, we have taken a twist on that to give you something a little bit more. Artichokes were going to be a part of the dish. Unfortunately, because we ended up cooking partially outside, we couldn't. These artichokes, again, from Hearth and Heart. Heart and Hearth. I'm going to get that right at some point. Those folks who are Glover, Olivia and Camille, did such a great job. Beautiful baby little artichokes. We are going to make sure we take care of those and eat them afterwards. So we thought dessert-wise, what's different instead of doing the regular one? So we got a combination of everything. Part of this is an idea from Gerald. And Gerald is from, and I'll write it, make sure, Swaying Daisies Honeybee Farm. They are in Addison. I saw him when it was pouring in Bristol. And he looked at me and he says, I love my raw honey. He's a honeybee farm. He does classes. He does a little bit of everything. Check out their website. Again, Swaying Daisies Honeybee Farm. Go check him out. He says, you know, one thing I really like, I like to see my honey drizzled over a really soft cheese. That was his idea that he actually gave me the next day because he was also at Isham Family Farm. I said, okay, we'll find it out. Then we sit there and say, well, let's do something different. Everybody has crackers. I don't want to do crackers. This is Korean melon, otherwise known as Oriental melon. These are from the folks at Bergeron Farms, Terry and Heidi. They are in St. Albans. We also got the eggplant from them. So those are the two things that we had got from them as a part of the meal that we have today. The Korean melon has a yellow outside that you can eat. It tends to be somewhat bitter. I tried it. It didn't add anything to the melon itself. But this tastes exactly like cucumber met a honeydew lemon and they got together. And that's exactly what this is. It's crunchy. It's flavorful. It's got a touch of sweetness to it, but it's not sweet at all. And that's why we decided to treat the lemon. The next thing we had from Justin at Bedoin Farm there in Milton, these are husk cherries. Now what they are, it's got a little husk on the outside. Let me see if I can do this without leaving it. There's a little husk on the outside of these. You see, they're just like kind of like a tomatillo, the kind of same kind of thing. And what you do is you take them off, just peel them out, and then you put them in your mouth. They're little, just like this. Again, let's see if we can do this without making it going back. Just a really, really small tart, like a little baby cherry. And they taste like pineapple. It's the strangest thing in the world, but they're so good. But they've got an earthiness to them. They're not like a sweet pineapple. It's just a great, great flavor. So we thought we'd add those in here too. The husk cherries, the Korean or Oriental melon, the honey that we've got. Again, the husk cherries were from Justin, Bedoin Farms in Milton. And we thought, I'll put this together. So Gerald said, sprinkle it on cheese. Well, the one thing is we didn't have any cheese vendors that we saw when we were out and about or had a cheese that we needed to work with. So what we did is we sat there and said, our backup. You always need a backup when you were going to do the farms the way that we do them because we don't always know where we're going. We don't always know what everybody has. So sometimes we're kind of left up in the air to kind of finish an ingredient. How do we finish it? We go to Hudak Farm. Hudak Farm stand, they are in Swanton, which you think they're in St. Albans, but they're actually like over the line in Swanton, just past all the car dealerships and the Walmart and stuff like that. Go towards Swanton. Look on the right-hand side. Great farm. They've got just about everything there. And I said, I know they're going to have a local cheese that we could work with, and they did. They had the Dozleap Organic Chev, and Dozleap is from East Fairfax. Great Chev. I like it because it's not just a creamy, pasty little Chev. It's like a real goat cheese, the ones that I remember when I was in France. It's hearty. It's got bite to it. It really has that differentiated taste. It's not made to taste just like a soft cheese. It's made to taste like a goat cheese. It has a distinctive milk flavor to it from goat's milk. Those guys do a great job with everything they've ever had from them, but this is a real treat. So what we did is we did the Organic Chev. We put honey. Yes, Gerald, we did your recommendation. Did honey on top of it, and this is how we had it earlier. And we had it with Brianna, my daughter, and Danielle. And bear with me for a second. I'm going to go over here, wipe off something. This is exactly how we did it. We took the Korean melon. We dipped into that honey drizzled Chev. Put it off to the side. And then what we did is took half a husk cherry and put it on top. And we ate it like we're going to do right now. The melon, the honey, the Chev, which just has a Such a wonderful bite to it. And the husk cherry and a little bit of pineapple. That is really good. This time we want to do something different at the end. Again, you can add pasta to this. You could do anything else. You can do a ton of things with a Korean melon and husk cherry, as I chew away here. The says Rudozli says phenomenal. Again, I like real goat cheese. It has a bite to it. Has the traditional flavor of goat's milk. That's what this has. There are a lot of them just are kind of soft and kind of just, they don't have a lot of character to them. That has character. The honey, raw honey, Gerald, Swing Daisies, Honeybee Farm. Wow. Amazing stuff. So, where can you find everybody? That's what we did. Monday we went to Bristol. Four Leaf Farms there in Moncton, and Swing Daisies Honeybee Farm. They are located in Addison. On Tuesday we went to Burlington's Old North End. Again, remember, the Burlington Old North End market is different than the Burlington market itself. You'll have a great time going up there. Bergeron Farm in St. Albans was there. Also Tuesday, Williston, Isham Family Farm. They were in Williston. And in Milton, Bedoin's Farm, and they are in Milton themselves too. And then Wednesday, we traveled to Greensboro, one of the most beautiful drives. Go up to Edithsburg and then take 118 down and drive to Greensboro to Caspian Lake. Absolutely gorgeous, and I had a great day to go along with it. Those folks at Heart and Hearth. I will sometime, Olivia, I will get that right at some point. Heart and Hearth Homeland. They are in Glover. And also Barre Bobbling Farms, this beautiful lamb that we had to go along with it. It was a great, great trip we had. And the most important thing to remember with all these markets, it takes people, the farmers to put the product there. It takes people to organize it. It's a lot of work. And they do this job that doesn't always work out the way they want, but always is a great job when they're done with it because they put a ton of effort in it. Market managers at Bristol, Sarah Stillman. Burlington Old North End, it's Ben Rogers. Isham Family Farm, it's Mike Isham. In Milton, it's Ben Gilbert. In Greensboro, it's Carol Fairbank. And in Barre, it's Tracy Lewis. How cool is it? They were out there and they worked tough to make it, and you know, they've had a tough time. Barre got canceled already 3 times this year. So don't forget, if it's raining a little bit and the farmers market's going on, go out there, put your raincoat on and go do it. They need your help. They need your support. They need you to buy their products. And boy, when you do stuff like this and you look at the lamb and the ratatouille that we did and how I put it together, it's great, great food and wonderful, wonderful food to put together. You want to find where your farmers market's at? Easy. NOFAVT.org. It's NOFAVT.org. It's the Northeast Organic Farmers Association. They have a great listing of all the websites, or a website that has all the listings for all the farmers markets by day, by area, by region, whatever it is you think you want to do. That's where we're going with this year. Now we have completed 17 out of 57. We have a long way to go, and we knew we would because we didn't do a lot in June. And of course, I got stuck in Florida with Delta for a while. That didn't help at all. But anyways, we're back on track and working our way through. Next time, we're taking a swing down the southern part of the state. We're going to Brandon. We're going to Arlington. We're going to Townsend. We're going to Bellows Falls. We're going to Heartland. It's our trip that we're going to do next. But right now, we put together a great meal. We hope that you enjoyed it. Chow in the Markets with McGowan. This is number 5. We're working our way on to number 6. We hope you enjoyed. We thank you for watching. Don't forget Facebook, Instagram. It'll be on YouTube too. Tell your friends about it and go enjoy the show. Ciao, everybody.